Most people think surveillance means cameras on poles, government agents, or some dystopian future that hasn't arrived yet. They think, if I'm not doing anything illegal, I don't care, or I don't have anything to hide. That belief is already outdated. Modern AI surveillance is no longer about watching you. It's about predicting you, ranking you, and influencing you before you ever notice. And the part nobody wants to admit is that most of it isn't run by governments. It's run by private systems you interact with every single day, voluntarily. This isn't speculation. This comes from published research, leaked vendor demos, procurement documents, and the same AI architectures already used in finance, marketing, and defense. In this video, I'm going to show you what surveillance actually looks like in 2025, what changes in 2026, why privacy settings are mostly theater, and the small number of strategies that still work if you want to fight back without becoming a paranoid hermit. And near the end, I'll show you the one mistake almost everyone makes when trying to protect their privacy, and why it actually makes surveillance easier. Let's start with something most people still completely misunderstand. You are not entering a surveillance era. You are already deep inside one. But it's not primarily cameras watching you walk down the street. The most powerful surveillance system today is behavioral exhaust. Every action you take generates small data points. When you wake up, how fast you type, how long you hover over content, how your voice changes when you're tired, your walking pattern from your phone's motion sensors, your heart rate variability from wearables, your spending rhythm, not just what you buy, but how and when you buy it. Individually, these signals are meaningless, but AI doesn't look at them individually. It fuses them. Modern AI systems don't need full visibility. They work on probability. Here's how it works. Data is collected passively through apps, devices, and infrastructure. AI builds a behavioral baseline for you. Deviations from that baseline are flagged. Those deviations are categorized: stress, risk, impulsivity, ideological drift. Then systems respond automatically. Pricing changes, content shifts, recommendations adjust, visibility is throttled or amplified. No human is watching this. It's automated. Here's a realistic example. Let's say your sleep quality drops for a few weeks. Your browsing becomes more erratic. Your spending shifts toward short-term dopamine purchases. Your language patterns online become sharper and more emotional. You think nothing of it. An AI model flags increased susceptibility to influence. That single label quietly changes what reaches you. The content you see, the ads you get, the emotional tone of your feed. You're not being watched, you're being steered. This matters because if you still imagine surveillance as someone observing you, you'll miss the real danger: automation at scale. And this is nothing compared to what happens when AI stops reacting to behavior and starts anticipating it. This is the real shift. Surveillance used to be reactive. AI surveillance is now preemptive. Thanks to large language models, multimodal AI, and reinforcement learning, systems can now predict short-term decisions, forecast emotional volatility, anticipate ideological drift, and model future behavior under different stimuli. This is already used in finance for fraud prevention, in insurance for risk pricing, in defense for threat anticipation, and in marketing for conversion optimization. Surveillance simply adopted the same stack. Here's the loop. AI builds a digital twin of your behavior. It simulates future scenarios. It tests which inputs change outcomes. It deploys those inputs in real life. It measures compliance or resistance. Then it updates the model. This is reinforcement learning applied to humans. Imagine a near-future scenario. You're flagged as high likelihood of disengagement. Not dangerous, just drifting. Suddenly, your feeds become calmer. Conflict-heavy content disappears. You're shown nostalgia, safety, familiarity. You feel better. You think the system is helping you. But the goal wasn't your well-being. The goal was stability and predictability. The real danger isn't oppression, it's comfort. Systems no longer need to force you, they just reduce the probability that you'll resist. And here's the part nobody likes to hear. This works best on intelligent adults, especially men between 25 and 45, because you generate rich data and believe you're rational. And if you think this requires invasive hardware or government mandates, wait until you see how weak signals get fused into total visibility. Let's talk about the surveillance stack you never see. There are 3 layers. The first is biometrics: face, voice, gait, micro-expressions, typing rhythm. The second is ambient data: location drift, proximity patterns, device usage cycles, environment. The third is AI inference: emotional state, cognitive load, risk tolerance, influence susceptibility. None of these are invasive on their own. Together, they're total. AI doesn't need perfect data. It needs enough. When one signal is missing, others compensate. No camera? Gait and accelerometer. No microphone? Typing cadence and timing. No GPS? Network hops and app pings. In pilot systems, users were re-identified across platforms with no login, no cookies, and no biometric scan. Just behavior. Your walk, your scroll speed, your pauses. You are more recognizable than you think. This is why VPNs feel useless, why ad blockers disappoint, why privacy settings feel fake. They protect identity. Surveillance targets patterns. So, if escape is impossible, what actually works? This is where most people panic, and where the wrong strategies backfire. Let's get practical. You're not trying to disappear, you're trying to become low value to predictive systems. Surveillance prioritizes consistency, extremes, and predictability. Your defense is behavioral noise. Here's what actually works. First, pattern disruption. Vary routines intentionally, change usage times, break algorithmic expectations. Second, data starvation where it matters. Reduce sensor permissions. Disable passive analytics. Avoid always-on devices in private spaces. Third, cognitive camouflage. Avoid emotional extremes online. Don't signal outrage cycles. Keep public behavior boring. Fourth, AI hygiene. Separate identities by context. Don't merge work, emotion, and ideology in one feed. Treat platforms like hostile environments. Here's a simple comparison. User A is highly expressive, follows a consistent schedule, signals strong opinions, and reacts predictably. User B introduces slight randomness, maintains a neutral tone, varies timing, and avoids emotional spikes. User A becomes profitable to influence. User B becomes expensive to model. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Freedom in the AI age isn't about rights, it's about cost. If predicting you is costly, you regain autonomy. Now here's the mistake that collapses everything. Most people ask for a checklist, a fixed system, a rigid routine. That instinct is exactly what surveillance models exploit. Static behavior is easy to model. Living frameworks are not. If this video made you uncomfortable in a productive way, that's the point. This channel isn't about panic or hiding. It's about understanding systems deeply enough to stop being easy to control. Let's zoom out. You now understand that surveillance isn't coming, it's here. That it's predictive, not observational. That comfort is the new control. That total escape is a myth. And that strategic unpredictability still works. Reality is worse than the headlines, but better than the movies, because you still have agency if you stop playing the wrong game. If you want to go deeper, the next video breaks down how AI scoring systems silently rank adults in finance, employment, and even dating, and how those scores follow you across platforms. That's where this gets very real.